Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being truly well-informed.
Today, we're diving into quite an extraordinary story.
Yeah, we really are. We're looking at Una, who's just 17, a dancer whose passion for street dance started, well, incredibly young.
It's a journey of over a decade, actually. Started back in elementary school in Taiwan, and now she's really making waves in New York City.
Exactly. So what we're doing today is exploring her unique path, her early training, the huge role mentorship and community played.
And also her approach to the future,
Yeah.
balancing that artistic drive with some really practical planning, which is pretty unusual, I think, for someone her age.
Definitely. Our deep dive is based on this fantastic interview we had with Una herself. She was really open, shared a lot of the raw details. So our mission today, we want to pull out the core insights. Like, what does it actually take to develop as a top-level dancer from childhood?
And how do you navigate different teaching styles, sometimes very different?
Right. And the power of sticking with a community, plus this surprising wisdom she has about building a sustainable future as an artist.
There are lessons here for everyone, honestly, whether you're into dance or not.
Absolutely. So let's jump right in. Okay, the beginning. Because Una's story, it really kicks off early, like 5 years old early.
Wow.
Yeah, kindergarten. She started with ballet and modern dance, kept it up through elementary school.
It's tender enough, maybe.
Kinda. But then, age 8, something clicks. She told us she saw a promotional video for a street dance studio in Taiwan called Mickey.
Ah, the aha moment.
Totally. And she said that was it. She just knew. And what's interesting is she admitted she never really liked ballet. The rigid structure, she called the attire feminine. It just wasn't her.
Right.
Street dance felt like a much better fit, personality-wise, instantly.
You know, it's fascinating how that works. That even the training you might resist, or maybe not even like, can end up being so valuable later. Una actually said that despite not loving ballet and modern, that early training gave her a really strong physical base.
Ah, okay. So it wasn't wasted time.
Not at all. Improved her flexibility, her body awareness, understanding her limits, all crucial for street dance. She even kept doing both secretly for a while.
No way.
Yeah, until she finished her elementary school dance program, continued ballet and modern alongside street dance, even though her heart was already elsewhere.
That shows incredible dedication for a kid and like an intuition about what she needed.
Exactly. It's that idea that sometimes the unliked foundation that gives you an unexpected edge really makes you think, doesn't it? How often do we overlook the value in things we found difficult or didn't enjoy initially?
That's a great point. Okay, so she finds street dance. Now let's talk about her formal training in Taiwan, because this is where a really key figure emerges.
Her main mentor.
Right. From age 8, she trained under this incredibly influential mentor, and when Una described her, she used words like extremely strict.
Yeah, that came through strongly in the interview.
Direct criticism, yelling. She even mentioned flicking ears. Treating these young kids basically like adults. It sounds pretty intense.
It does sound intense. And it definitely raises questions, about the balance between that kind of hardcore foundational teaching and nurturing self-direction.
Is that old school method still valid or even helpful?
Well, for Una, she felt that this really rigorous environment, despite the intensity, it built exceptional technical skills, super strong foundations.
In multiple styles, right?
Yes, she learned popping, locking alongside hip-hop, and the strictness ingrained a certain precision. But what's really interesting is the transition.
What happened?
By junior high, she started shifting, moving away from needing that external discipline to finding her own internal drive.
Becoming self-motivated.
Exactly. She started seeking out individual lessons, practicing on her own at home. And the mentor supported this, which is key.
Yes.
The mentor gave her concrete strategies for breaking through plateaus. Things like go watch skilled dancers on YouTube, really analyze them, experiment with how you listen to the music, even try copying routines, adapting them, making them your own.
So it wasn't just do this, do that. It was teaching her how to learn.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Teaching her how to problem solve her own dance development. That's huge, setting her up for the long haul, really.
That is huge. Okay, so we have this intense individual discipline being built, but dance, especially street dance, it's often about community too, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And Una's story really highlights this. That solo training was crucial, but the community aspect provided another vital layer.
Tell us about that.
She was part of a dance group in Taiwan. And get this, it just celebrated its 10th anniversary.
10 years! That's incredible longevity for a youth group.
It really is. In this group, it wasn't just about fun. It provided shared pressure to improve, mutual understanding, consistent motivation. They competed together 2 big competitions like HICHI World of Dance.
WOD, yeah. Serious stuff.
Definitely. And keeping a group like that together, especially as people get older, busier, it takes commitment. They had clear rules, weekly practices, shared goals, like prepping for comps.
That makes sense. Keeps everyone aligned.
And she told us about one member. Commutes 4 hours by train, each way, every week, for practice.
Just, wow, that's dedication.
It speaks volumes, doesn't it, about how much they value that collective effort. And the mentor, again, played a big part in holding the group together.
So that community becomes like a second family almost, driving everyone forward.
Sort of a dance family, yeah. That sustained collective effort, it's a major differentiator for long-term growth, even alongside individual pursuits.
And speaking of individual growth within that, you mentioned she learned multiple styles early on. Hip-hop, popping, locking.
Correct. Which is different from some training models that really drill down on just one thing.
How did that broad training affect her?
It gave her incredible versatility. While she's skilled in all 3, you told us hip-hop is her preference.
Why hip-hop?
Because it's so adaptable. You can do gritty underground stuff, or you can lean into, say, K-pop choreography. Huge range of expression.
But does learning multiple styles sometimes lead to, like, blurring the lines?
It can, yeah. She admitted that, especially earlier on, sometimes her hip-hop feel might accidentally bleed into her locking, which needs a very different sharp quality.
Right.
But she said with years of focused practice, like 6, 7 years, she learned to keep them distinct, to really embody the specific technique and feeling of each style.
So versatility isn't just knowing more moves, it's mastering the unique essence of each style.
Exactly. Depth within the breadth.
Okay, this brings us to something I found genuinely remarkable about Una. Her practicality. Her foresight about her future. You just don't often hear this from a 17-year-old artist.
It's incredibly mature.
Yeah.
Especially considering the context.
Yeah.
She grew up balancing intense academics in Taiwan, high pressure, long hours, similar to mainland China,
Right?
with an equally intense dance schedule. And she managed it. Kept her grades decent, mid to upper range,
How did she juggle that?
by adjusting her dance time strategically. During exams, maybe just an hour a day or 1 day a week, but otherwise, it was full on, 3 to 5 days a week of training.
And she had supportive parents. That seems critical.
Absolutely critical. She emphasized how invaluable their support was. They nudged her about studies sometimes, naturally, but they never stopped her dancing, never pulled her from classes or competitions.
That's huge.
And what makes it even more significant, she said, is that her parents aren't artists themselves. They just supported her passion.
That's amazing. But it's her view on a dance career that's really striking.
It really is. She's quite clear-eyed about it. She's not planning to commit 100% to being a full-time dancer.
Why not?
Because she sees the instability, the financial precarity, and critically, the high risk of injury.
Has she experienced that herself?
Painfully so. This wasn't just theoretical. When she was about 11 or 12, she suffered bilateral patella fractures.
Both kneecaps. Ouch.
Yeah, from training. She couldn't dance for a significant period. And that experience, that wake-up call, it really cemented her resolve.
To do what?
To pursue what she calls a second specialization, a parallel path.
Interesting. Like a backup plan.
More than just a backup, I think.
Yeah.
She sees it as ensuring stability and longevity. She was actually inspired by someone she knows, a successful dentist, who is also a very strong dancer.
Okay, so proof of concept right there.
Exactly. It showed her it's possible. So she's thinking about things like veterinary medicine, which she likes, or maybe anthropology, because of the global career options.
Yeah.
Something completely separate from dance.
That level of practical foresight is, well, it's just deeply impressive.
Yeah.
Many professional dancers face those exact challenges she mentioned. Financial insecurity, lack of insurance, career-ending injuries.
And she's planning for it proactively at 17. It's a model for how you can pursue art sustainably, maybe, by building a safety net, or perhaps even enriching your art through other experiences.
It feels like her injury didn't derail her, but instead it catalyzed this really holistic, sustainable vision for her life with dance in it. Incredible resilience.
Absolutely.
So she has this strong foundation, community support, this practical mindset, and then she moves to New York. This seems like a pivotal next chapter.
A huge one. And New York brought surprises. She expected maybe a more raw, underground scene, hip-hop's birthplace, lots of battles.
Yeah, makes sense.
But she found it was actually more focused on choreography, There were battles, sure,
Mm-hmm.
but fewer and maybe less central to the scene than she was used to in Taiwan.
Huh. So, a different vibe. How did she navigate that?
She jumped right in, joined Brickhouse NYC, specifically their Gen X group, which is for 16 to 18-year-olds,
Yeah.
and these dancers. Highly talented, very choreography focused.
Okay, so stepping into a high-level environment.
High level and also challenging personally. She mentioned being the only Asian dancer in the group at the time, dealing with language barriers initially, a whole new culture.
That's a lot of pressure.
A ton of pressure, but she framed it as a crucible, something that forced immense growth, not just dance technique, but language skills, confidence, learning how to interact socially in this new context.
It sounds like the environment itself became a teacher.
Very much so. It really speaks to how personal resilience, that willingness to just dive into the unknown, can be as transformative as formal lessons. It impacts your dance, sure, but also just your whole development as a person.
So it wasn't just about steps, it was about becoming herself in this new world. What was the actual training like at Brickhouse? Similar intensity to Taiwan?
Intense, yes, but structured differently. 3 mandatory practice days focusing on their core work. Then 2 days specifically for learning and polishing choreography.
Okay.
And then 1 day dedicated to diverse styles, bringing in teachers for whacking, popping house, hip-hop foundations, ensuring they kept that breath alongside the choreo focus.
That sounds incredibly well-rounded. How does a dancer find their own unique style within that kind of structure, though?
It takes time. She said it took her maybe 2 or 3 years in New York to feel like she developed her own distinct style.
Right.
And now, her next challenge, she feels, is actually to break free from that style, to avoid getting stuck in her own habits.
How does she plan to do that?
By going back to basics, embracing unlearning and relearning, as she put it, deconstructing her own movement to build something new. It's a very mature perspective on artistic growth.
That idea of needing to unlearn, that's profound.
Isn't it? And she also pinpointed another shift around year 5 or 6 of her dancing, realizing that technical skill isn't enough.
What else is there?
The mental game. How you think about dance, how you interpret music, how you connect movements conceptually. Dancing with your mind, essentially.
That makes perfect sense, the intention behind the movement.
Exactly. And her battled experiences feed into this too.
Yes, the battles. Tell me more.
She talked about her first one, no shame, just excitement. But she's had significant wins too. Placed high in big Taiwan competitions, won a freestyle battle at the Monster Convention here in the U.S.
So she's competitive.
Yes. But her approach is interesting. She sees battles as a chance to test out what she's been practicing, to get direct feedback from judges, and crucially, she recognizes how much her performance depends on her mental state.
Being relaxed, not nervous.
Exactly. Being in the right headspace allows her skills to come through. It's not just about winning, it's about the process and the feedback loop for improvement.
It sounds like this whole journey, the training, the community, the move, the battles, it's given her a really deep understanding of the art form.
I think so.
Yeah.
She talked about looking at older, respected dancers, the OGs, and understanding that their unique flavor comes from their life experiences. Their personal growth is in their dance. It's not separate.
Life influences art, art influences life.
Beautifully put.
Yeah.
And finally, she emphasized how much dance has expanded her world. Especially in New York, it's connected her to such a diverse range of people, photographers, organizers, friends from all over the globe, different professions. It's more than a skill, it's a network, a community, a way of seeing the world.
Wow. Una's journey really offers these deep insights, doesn't it? The dedication, the strategic thinking, the sheer resilience needed to excel in something so demanding.
It really does. Her story is such a powerful testament to, well, several things. Committed mentorship, even when it's tough.
Yeah.
The strength you get from a supportive community.
Yeah.
And having that forward-thinking mindset, even from a really young age.
Absolutely. And whether you listening are pursuing something creative or maybe facing a totally different kind of challenge or even just want to learn things more effectively, Una's approach, her focus on purposeful practice, her long-term planning, there are really valuable lessons there for all of us.
It's a great reminder, isn't it? That preparation, being adaptable, surrounding yourself with the right people, these things can unlock potential you didn't even know you had.
So here's something to think about, our final provocative thought. What if embracing a dual path, like Una's vision for, say, veterinary medicine and dance? What if that isn't just a backup plan?
What if it's actually a way to enrich your main passion?
Exactly. Bringing diverse experiences, different perspectives, Could that actually lead to a more unique, a more robust, and ultimately a more sustainable creative life?
Something to definitely mull over.
Think about it. And we'll catch you on the next deep dive.